A young man buys groceries for a shivering woman. 1 week later, she changes his life forever. Narrator. Calm, reflective tone. The chill in the air was biting that evening, sharp enough to cut through even the thickest of coats. The streetlights flickered weakly under the gray sky as a young man hurried through the uneven pavement, hands shoved deep into the pockets of his worn jacket. His breath formed small clouds that drifted away, silent witnesses to the cold. He didn't expect to notice her. A solitary figure huddled near the corner grocery store, wrapped in a threadbare shawl that barely kept the biting wind at bay. She was trembling, not just from cold, but from something deeper, something invisible to the eye. His footsteps slowed. "Excuse me, ma'am," he said softly, heart thumping in an unexpected rhythm. She looked up, eyes wide, hesitant. A faint nod was all she gave. Without a word, he stepped inside the store. A simple list formed in his mind. Bread, milk, some fresh fruit, things that might bring warmth and sustenance. When he returned, bags in hand, her lips parted in disbelief. That moment was small, a brief crossing of two lives. But in 1 week, everything changed. Introduction and Setup. Seattle in early November is a city of rain and whispers. Damp leaves carpet the sidewalks, their colors fading from vibrant to muted browns beneath overcast skies. The hum of distant traffic mixes with the occasional clatter of footsteps on wet concrete. Jacob Evans, 24, moved through the city like a man who had learned to survive rather than live. His scruffy beard and tired eyes told stories of late shifts at the diner, broken dreams, and a heart that had quietly hardened. A small silver watch on his wrist ticked steadily. Its cracked glass a reflection of his own fractured past. Jacob wasn't always like this. Once he had dreams of becoming an artist, filling canvases with color and life. But loss had a way of draining hope. The death of his mother 2 years ago left a silent void, one he tried to fill with late-night shifts and endless city streets. Tonight was no different until he saw her. Conflict or challenge introduced. The woman sat pressed against the cold bricks of the grocery store's entrance, shoulders shaking beneath the thin shawl. Her hair was a tangled mess and her eyes held stories of pain and endurance. Jacob hesitated. Should he walk on, as he usually did, or should he stop? "Can I help?" he asked quietly, voice almost lost in the wind. She looked away, ashamed, but the desperation in her eyes answered for her. "I don't have much," she whispered, voice trembling. "I haven't eaten in days." Jacob's chest tightened. He thought of the hours he spent scraping by, the nights his stomach growled louder than his worries. Suddenly his own problems seemed smaller. Inside, the grocery aisles smelled of fresh bread and damp earth. Jacob chose the essentials, each item a small act of rebellion against hopelessness. When he returned, the woman's lips quivered with gratitude, tears threatening to spill. "I'm Anna," she said. "Jacob." Their names, simple threads binding two souls adrift. Midpoint revelation or twist days passed, and Jacob found himself returning not for sympathy or recognition, but because Anna's presence awakened something dormant inside him. One evening, under the weak glow of a street lamp, Anna confessed her story. She had once been a nurse, a woman of compassion and strength, until a tragic accident left her unable to work and estranged from her family. The city had turned its back, and with nowhere to go, she'd found refuge in the cold shadows. Jacob listened, the walls around his heart crumbling with every word. But what stunned him most was the secret she held, a sketchbook filled with delicate drawings, scenes from a life she once loved, pages inked with hope and loss. She handed it to him. "Maybe you can bring them back to life." Climax, emotional breakthrough. Jacob spent nights studying the sketches, each stroke a whisper of Anna's soul. He realized that in helping her, he had begun to heal himself. One rainy evening, after a particularly harsh day, Jacob's hands trembled as he sketched beside Anna. The rain outside mirrored the storm inside him. Fear, pain, hope tangled together. You're not broken, Anna whispered, eyes shining through tears. You're becoming. In that fragile moment, the past's heavy chains began to loosen. Resolution and quiet closure weeks later, a small art show opened in a downtown gallery, featuring Jacob's work inspired by Anna's drawings. The city's grayness softened under the warm lights and curious faces. Anna stood quietly by his side, wrapped in a warm coat, her smile a beacon. The city moved on, but something new was born. Kindness, connection, and the quiet miracle of two broken souls finding strength in each other. Call to action. If this story touched your heart, consider subscribing for more inspiring tales of hope, healing, and unexpected kindness. Hit the like button and share this with someone who needs it today.